what does this mean for Josh Allen? Well, we know what Stefon thinks, so here's the story. RG3 debuted a theory on Stefon and Josh Allen's success together and put it on Twitter, and some fans weighed in. And,
not some fans, the Peaky Pirate.
The Peaky Pirate, yes.
With the check mark.
Does Josh benefit from having a top-tier receiver? Yes. Is he essential to his success? No. Stefon Diggs replying, you sure? And then he was traded to the Texans. So do with that as you may. Bills' 2023 season, including the playoffs, first 10 games, Stefon was doing well, the team was doing mediocre. Last 9 games, Joe Brady came in, Brew, and was like, you know what, let's run the ball. Stefon's numbers went way down, but they went 7-2. So, do you expect Josh Allen to take a step back this year?
I don't. I really don't. And Stefon, to answer RG3's question, he certainly was not essential to their late season run where they won 5 straight games to end the season. He was averaging about 40 yards a game receiving. So I think that, and Stefon is a very good receiver. There's no, and used to be great. We'll see if he still is. But I think individually, Josh Allen is still going to be great. I think in the draft, they're going to take a receiver. I don't know if they're going to try to trade for one, but they'll probably draft 1 or 2. All right. So, and I think, Nick, maybe Joe Brady's looking at the way they had success late in the season, and maybe they're saying we're going to play more to our elements, right? Where you probably see a lot more 2 tight end sets with Kincaid and Dawson Knox. All right. You can run the ball with James Cook. I would go get another running back. I think they should look at J.K. Dobbins. He's still out there. Get another running back so neither one of them gets hurt, or if one gets hurt, you got another one. You can run the ball with Josh Allen. I think the problem, because in that late 5-game win streak, he was running the ball more. He was scoring more touchdowns on the ground and more yards on the ground, not throwing for as much. I think we might see more of that. And the danger, I think he'll be great. His numbers will be really good. He'll probably, if they win enough games, will be in the MVP.
To be a little more like Tim Tebow.
No, I'm not even joking. No, I'm not. No, come on. He can still throw the football. The danger is this. You could be setting him up to be like Cam Newton, where he takes too many shots because he's running the ball too much, and you shorten his career.
Cam Newton,
but I think individually he's going to be what he is,
Cam
which
Newton
is very
without
good.
The league MVP in the Super Bowl appearance. I'm just curious.
I think he's better than Cam Newton.
Everybody does. I know.
Was.
I think everybody does.
Do you?
Well, I just want to know what is a step back.
I think he was.
He was 15-1.
He didn't have an MVP.
No,
fine. He didn't get to a Super Bowl.
I think Josh Allen's, like, if you say, this is kind of like the Jordan LeBron, what is peak? If you're saying Josh Allen's best 3 or 4 year stretch versus Cam's best 3 or 4 year stretch, it's obviously Josh. Best single season, it's obviously Cam. Cam's 15-1 year league MVP and took the team to a Super Bowl. So I think Cam has reached a peak Josh didn't reach.
But your peak can't be just 1 year.
Okay, sure. Fair enough. I'm just curious, what is a step back? Because is a step back from who he actually is, or who we have everyone took a blood oath, and I missed that day of class, to pretend he is? Because here's Josh Allen in his career by passer rating. And I understand he's dynamic with his legs, but can we please not pretend like the Josh Allen legend is mostly about his running? He has 1 season as a great passer and 1 other season as above average by passer rating. So when people say, take a step back, I think in their mind's eye, they're like, oh, yeah, he might take a step back to what? Well, he was 16th this year and got an MVP vote out of it.
What is it say? He's a top 5 quarterback. Are you saying he's not going to be a top 5 quarterback?
What I'm saying is he is called a top 5 quarterback based on the upside, the highs, and the idea.
And the production. He's second in the league since 2019 in touchdowns to Mahomes.
I understand that he is an amazing rushing threat. And I think that is a valuable component.
But he also can throw it.
But the passing, the second. So when we talk touchdowns, to me we almost have separated a bit, because there's the rushing part, which I think he is You can make an argument he's a more impactful runner than Lamar. You could make that argument just because, so that part is a great part of it. But the passing touchdown volume, where you're like he's second to Mahomes or wherever he is in passing touchdowns, but he's first in the opposite of a touchdown, a turnover. You know, he leads the league in that over that same time frame. And so it's almost like there's a word for it. You're up and down. What do you like? They're at amusement parks. What is it, Wilds? Tell me.
Like a roller coaster?
It's like almost like he's a roller coaster. And so if you're asking me, do I expect this? No. You know what I think? I think his number's going to be around the same.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
I
think he's going to be around middle of the pack passer rating, have a bunch of touchdowns, a bunch of turnovers, and people are now going to be like, look at those weapons. I don't care what the numbers say. That quarterback in Buffalo is the league's most valuable player.
Hubs, can we throw up the Josh Allen full screen one more time, just because I want your reaction on this,
one?
bro? The one that I put up first. Sorry, Josh put such a dense amount of info on this graphic. I kind of flew through it, and this was not the pass play percentage in Joe Brady's last 9 games is 48%. And here's the note that Josh wrote: it was the lowest in the NFL in that span. So Joe Brady came in. I was like, you know what? We're going to run the ball. We're going to take, and we saw it kind of flare. It's like, he kind of like, what do you always say? Put the training wheels on. Don't make any risky throws, and his interceptions ran down because he handed it off. So do you expect, now they're trading their number 1 wide receiver, do you expect them to feel more like the Steelers and more like the Ravens?
Well,
we're a running team with a quarterback with a cannon, which is an odd mix.
Well, the Ravens have stepped back from that, and now they're going to get back to running probably more than they did last year, but it's going to be Derrick Henry. It's not going to be Lamar. I think he'll run more like he should have ran against Kansas City in the championship game. But the difference between a Pittsburgh and Buffalo is that your quarterback's going to do a lot of the running. And that's my point. He could get hurt. We know he's a big guy. He's going to try to run some people over. I know he slid a little more late last season, but that's the danger. I think he's going – an offense that already was too much on his shoulders. He had to carry too much of it. Is now, I think, going to be asking him to carry an even greater load.
This is the part – this is the thing that I just fundamentally don't buy. There are 2 guys in the league got first place MVP votes last year. And the conversation surrounding both of them, either in the offseason, in a postmortem of the year, looking next year, is those 2 guys, their team needs to put the ball in their hands less. Their path to success is handing it off. And does anybody
No, my thing with Josh is because he could get hurt. It's not because he can't produce.
No, but when they were winning on the winning streak, everyone said it's because Joe Brady has changed it and they're running the ball more. So, nobody looks at the Bengals and says, need to run more. I don't think we're going to look at the Texans next year and be like, you know what? They need to run more. Nobody looks at the Chiefs and says, need to run more. Say what you will about...
They're not running quarterbacks.
I'm talking about hand the ball off. I'm not talking about the quarterback running it. I'm saying hand the ball off. And with Baltimore, with Lamar, and everyone blamed the playoff game on the fact that they didn't hand the ball off more. Right. And with Josh Allen and the Bills, what their coaching staff is telling us...
and it worked.
...is that we think our best path is taking the ball out of our quarterback's hands more. True. That is a unique spot.
So are you saying Josh Allen isn't great?
No, what I am saying is Josh Allen obviously has immense talent. What I am saying is Josh Allen, for the entirety of, ever since the Daboll got there and he had that monster 2020 season, folks have pretended that he has been that level of passer every year, and he's never been close to it. He's never been close to it.
But he has been a great quarterback.
Sure.
He hasn't been Patrick Mahomes. Who else has been better, consistently? Joe Burrow, but he's hurt all the time.
Brew, has he been Lamar?
I think he's been pretty much as good as Lamar. I mean, I think they're both right there on the same level. And so he's a better passer than Lamar, in my view.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, it feels like that's not how he's not discussed as like, hey, he might be the 5th or 6th best guy. Okay. That's all.
Quickly to the Texans. C.J. Stroud looking to build on his resume. Last year he had 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. The lineup is now stacked. So, Nick, we'll start with you. What is his ceiling?
I'll be quick. I see if Brew agrees. League MVP.
Ooh.
This year. I'm talking about this. He's a sophomore. I think
Yeah.
he could be league MVP this year.
I was going to take it a step further.
Oh.
Ceiling,
This
MVP, Super Bowl.
Man, you guys are really going for it.
That's the ceiling.
Okay.
Now, that's not saying he's going to get to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl
definitely.
MVP?
I mean, if they, I guess so. Yeah, if he's there.
Yeah.
But I agree, MVP, but also Super Bowl.
Man,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's. I don't
It's a
think
ceiling,
that's a hot take.
It's not a. No.
No, I don't. I think that I think we know pretty early on quarterbacks these days. Actually, I don't think there's
Well,
a ton.
that wouldn't be good for Trevor.
But so I disagree.
We don't
with
know
you.
about Trevor.
So again. I'm not trying to turn for the second segment have a Trevor Lawrence out of nowhere discussion. We can if we'd like. I fundamentally disagree with what Trevor has shown. I think we do know on Trevor. I think the Jags know on Trevor. You guys don't. That's fine. We can debate it another day. My point is, I think quarterbacks that are terrible their first year starting are usually, not always, terrible. Josh Allen, by the way, is the exception to that. He was terrible his first year, and it took him a while. Maybe that was his school, whatever it was. CJ was great. This is something, as high as Brew is on CJ, and Brew was much higher on CJ coming in the league than I was. Brew's closer to Mangini on show me a little more. With CJ, I'm not. I feel like I know he's great. I feel like right now, if you made the argument, he is the second most valuable player in the league as far as like trade value, like Bill Simmons would do. You know what I mean? Like you get him for the rest
Especially
of their
with that
with the contract and all of it. That it's Mahomes than CJ. I would be like, yeah, that sounds about right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.